So what advice would you give to people on how to stay motivated even when things are not going as they planned? Because sometimes it can be hard. If you've tried this and it fails, try that, it fails. How do you keep going? How do you keep telling yourself that I'm not going to stop trying?
Yeah, I think there are two things. There are two dimensions to that. The first is the ability to understand when things cannot work and know when to, when to move on. The second is the ability to know that, okay, this approach is not working. Let me change the approach, right? That's not giving up. So for the fact that you are shutting down an idea or a business doesn't mean you are giving up. It might actually be the smartest decision, knowing that, okay, this thing cannot work. Then you have to do something else or have a different approach. But again, it's also very important to understand that there will be challenges. Like you cannot, no matter how smart you are, you cannot highlight all the challenges you will get on the road. For example, I'll give an example. Early 2020, we had a third party that we've integrated with, a Nigerian bank, we've integrated with for payments. And on a Sunday night, I remember that clearly, it was a Sunday, midnight, around 2 a.m., that we received an email that we've been yanked off their platform. Of course, we wouldn't have imagined that kind of thing happening. Even if we had imagined it, we wouldn't have imagined it to happen on a Sunday at midnight, right? And of course, if it will happen, we'll expect that we should be given some notice, not some notice period, such that we can build, build redundancies and, activate whatever secondary plan we had. But we're yanked off the platform, primarily because one, regulation, CBN directives, all those kind of things. It was a tough thing because we had to leverage, we had to activate the human capital we built over time in terms of how do you even tell your staff to resume work by 2 a.m. on a Sunday, for example, right? How do you start calling people to say, okay, this payment channel is down? How do we activate the next payment channel to ensure that customers keep having access to the platform? And to customers, it's just that you are not serious. Customers will understand that it's a regulation or someone is not doing his job somewhere that resulted into that, right? So you can't perfectly predict everything that will happen. It is you having that open mind that the unthinkable will happen. And then it will be, what are the things you have in place to address it, right? So it boils down to the kind of people you have. Are they people that are ready to go to war with you? Do they believe in you? When you say, let's go to war, will they follow you? And it boils down to how you're treating them when there is no war, right? If you treat them well when there is no war, when the war comes in, they will follow you and go to war with you. So it's about building the muscle you will need to enable you face the battle when the battle comes. But you can't 100% predict what will happen. Challenges will come. So it is your ability to withstand those challenges, it's your ability to solve the problems, the ability to come up with solutions that will enable you, and that's one thing that, funding startups requires. Sometimes it's not about the idea you're pitching that investors will fund. What investors will fund most times is your ability to be able to come up with solutions to challenges you will face in the course of building the company. Because even investors don't have a clear understanding. When I mean clear understanding, like 100% understanding of how the company will evolve over time. They have a big picture, but the granularity is still very sketchy. So it's you as a founder, as a pilot, that will have to navigate all the turns to ensure that the company succeeds. So yeah, it's a thin line between knowing when to stop and knowing when to keep firing. It's a thin line. One just needs to be able to discern the two. Like, is it that this thing is a dead horse? Let me cut my losses and move on. Or is it that we're not doing something right? Right. So it's a very thin line, really. It's hard, but it's something people do. So it's doable.
Thank you so much for that.